Hey there, are you excited about running your own Discord bot? So if you followed my last video, I showed you how to get a new bot created in Discord. But we haven't yet ran the Discord bot, so it's not online. And that's exactly what we'll be working on in this video. But before we dive in, you need to make sure that you have Python installed on your Windows PC. Thankfully, I've already done a video on this, so feel free to watch it in case you need any help while doing this. And also, before we do any kind of Discord bot development, you need to have already created a bot in Discord first. So if you haven't yet done this, please watch my video on creating a Discord bot. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, let's jump in and get started. First, we need to get the Discord and .env package set up with our Python environment. So let's do this by opening up the command prompt from the start menu, and then once you have it up, let's run the following pip install command to install discord.py. Right after that, we'll be running another pip install command to get the .env package installed for Python. And our reason for doing this is because developing and configuring our bot relies heavily on both of these packages. So once they're installed, let's start Visual Studio Code and point it to a folder where we plan on developing the bot. So this folder can be anywhere on your PC. And once the folder has been added to VS Code, we'll be creating 3 new files inside. First, there's a .env file where we'll store our bot configuration. And the second file is bot.py, which is going to run our bot. And the third file is administration.py, where we'll be storing some logic for how our bot reacts to things on Discord. First, let's open the .env file. You can think of this as a config file where we'll be storing keys and values. And in our case, we just need 2 pieces of information stored here: the Discord token and the general channel ID. So first, I'm going to show you where you can obtain your bot's Discord token. Let's go back to the Discord developer portal by visiting discord.dev on a browser. From here, click on Applications and click the one that you recently created. Then click on Bot from the left side of the page. Most of the time, when you visit this page, you might see a link to reset your token. If you already have it, great. But if not, that's totally fine, since you can just click the reset token button. And then on the confirmation pop-up, just click yes, and then enter your credentials to verify it's you. Your new token should be generated, and now is your one and only chance to copy it, because otherwise you'll have to reset it again in case you lose it. So with the token copied, let's switch back to VS Code and paste your bot's token as the value of Discord_token. Now let's get the second piece of information that we need, the general channel ID. You need to enable developer mode to do this. So let's go to the Discord homepage and then click on user settings. Scroll down until you see advanced and click on that. The developer mode toggle is usually turned off by default, so let's turn this on. After that, head back to your server from the Discord homepage and right-click the general channel. You should now see an option to copy the channel ID. Let's jump back to VS Code and paste that ID as the value of general_channel_ID. So to recap, the Discord token is what we'll use each time we want to authenticate the bot. And the general channel ID is how the bot is going to find the server's channel and send messages to it. So let's save our changes here and then start building our bot.py file. We'll start by importing all the necessary packages that we need at the top of the file. If we don't do this, we'll be seeing a bunch of errors when we try to use the Discord API. The .env import is for us to access our config file to get the Discord token and the channel ID values. Next, we're going to create a class called bot. And within the class definition, we'll be adding a constructor before we do anything else. So as you can see here, the init call is initializing the bot with 2 things. First, the command prefix is how the bot is going to recognize commands that are used on the Discord channel. And then next, the intent tells the Discord API what kind of permissions to give the bot when it starts running. So currently, we're just going to go with the default permissions. And right below the class definition, we're doing a load_.env call, which is telling Python to load everything from our env file. And you can start to see how this works on line 16. We're saying to get the value assigned to Discord_token and then save it as a variable called token. We can now use this token just about anywhere in the bot file as many times as we need. And at this point, believe it or not, we are ready to actually run this bot. You can do this by creating a bot object and then calling the run method. Notice how run is taking in the token variable that we acquired earlier. So before we run the bot, let's see what the bot is up to right now on our Discord server. Notice how the bot is not online since it's not yet running. So let's change this by running the bot on our PC using Visual Studio Code. And since bot.py is our main entry point, we'll click the run button with that file open. And as soon as it runs, you'll start to see a bunch of logs kicking off. This is normal, and if you see similar messages on your end too, that's a good sign because there were no issues. More importantly, let's jump to our Discord channel to see if our bot is showing up as online. And boom, there you go. You should hopefully be seeing a green dot with your bot ready for action. But wait a second, we haven't programmed our bot to do anything yet. So let's work on that next by jumping back to VS Code. You can stop the bot at any time by just killing the terminal window or clicking the trash can icon. So now let's move on and shift our attention to the administration.py file. This is where we'll add custom behaviors for our bot, like commands that they can listen to and react to. Just like what we did with bot.py, we'll start by importing all the different packages that we need. And the one that we really care about here is line 1, which is for Discord commands. So let's first make it easier on us and load the environment variables from our .env file. After that, we're going to start with a class implementation called administration. We need to have commands.cog in the parentheses here because the administration class needs to inherit this behavior, because otherwise the bot can't really listen for custom commands in our Discord channel. Again, just like what we did in bot.py, we need to add a constructor for the administration class. And the point of this is to initialize it, and unlike the bot class, this one's a little more simple. We just need to store the bot as a class variable. So each time you need to have the bot do anything in this file, you can call it as self.bot. Now we're going to register the bot to this administration template. You can do this by adding a function called setup on this file. There are a couple of things that are happening here. The setup function is basically an entry point for the bot, and it helps to register administration commands. Then the add_cog is what's doing the registering process by feeding it a new administration object with the bot that's wanting to use it. Also, notice how this function is defined with an async call. That's because this is a code routine where we're telling Python that this is something that can happen asynchronously, where it doesn't have to wait or block execution. And each time you use an async function, you do need to make sure that you have an await inside it. Next, let's get to the more exciting part, getting the bot to react each time it goes online or runs in Discord. So inside the administration class, we're going to utilize a function called on_ready. This is guaranteed to be called each time the bot starts and is logged into a Discord server. So in line 13, we are defining a ready message that the bot will send to the channel. And also, just a moment ago, remember how I mentioned that anytime we're doing anything with the bot, we need to use self.bot? That's how we're retrieving the bot's display name in Discord. So right below that line, we're now going to retrieve the general channel ID. And the good thing is we've already acquired that and stored it in our .env file. So the getEnv method is fetching it for us, and we're converting it as an integer because it's stored as a string. So now that we have what we need, we just need to tell this bot to send this ready message in the channel. That's easily done by first getting the channel using the channel ID that we're holding on to. And then at the end, we're using the send function by feeding it our custom ready message. One last thing that you don't want to forget here is to add a listener decorator right above on_ready. This is telling our bot that this function is an event that it needs to actively listen for while it's running. And now that our administration.py file is wrapped up, we need to tell our bot to use it each time it runs. This can be done in the bot.py file, which is responsible for running the bot. So once you open it up, let's add a setup hook inside the bot class. So just like how the setup function was called each time administration was used, the setup_hook has the same concept here. The only thing we're doing inside setup_hook is to tell the bot to load an extension called administration. And the extension needs to be called the same as the file name of administration.py. This is case sensitive. So finally, our bot is now ready to let users on the channel know that it's connected and available. So let's test this out by having the bot.py file open and clicking run again. And if you go back to your server's general Discord channel, bam, you'll see that our bot is now sending a ready message as soon as it's online. So the bot is going to continue running for now until you kill the terminal session again. Congratulations with programming your very own Discord bot with its own listener. By the way, I've added comments to nearly every line of code that we went over in this video. And I've added this entire project in Github that you can access in the video description. So in the next video, I'll be showing you how to send your bot custom commands on your Discord channel. Thanks for watching. And for more on running Discord bots, please consider subscribing to this channel.